Spirit Halloween's Freddy Fazbear Animatronic looks insane. I'm a Spirit Keeper and I give you a reason for every season. And Spirit Halloween's Freddy Fazbear Animatronic being officially licensed for the Five Nights at Freddy's game franchise looks absolutely amazing. But before jumping right into this, I'd like to give credit for the videos and photos out to Phantasmagore, Haunted Studios, Haunt Channel, and Not Your Average Joe. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this. Now, the first thing I like to cover for this animatronic is going to be his animation. Now, the animation on this thing is absolutely incredible. I don't think Spirit could have done it any better. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Now, he does start off with some type of T-pose, and his wingspan does appear to be pretty wide, and then he does bring the mic closer to his mouth, and then he does have a wave-in animation. Once again, I don't think they could have gotten this any better. They literally got it perfect to what it should have been, and just the accuracy to the game on this thing looks absolutely phenomenal. Freddy's eyes do also move side to side, and they do include some LEDs, which is something I'm typically never a fan about. However, on this prop, it is so awesome that they are including those flickering LEDs inside of the eyes, as it's actually accurate to the game. Now, something funny that I would like to mention about some chatter online about his animation is that there's a ton of squeakiness coming from the motor in the demo videos that we do have, and people are defending it, saying that it is just built in with the audio. And no, it's not built into the audio. It's literally just the motor braking as it's activating. And this is something that you obviously don't want to be seeing for a prop like this. You want that motor to be lasting because this is a huge collector's piece, and you just don't want this thing to be breaking that easily. I mean, we can just see the stores are activating it for the first ever time, and the motor is already squeaking. Like, that is definitely not something that's good. Now, another thing I like to cover about the animation is that this thing is obviously an animatronic, which is something that really got Spirit Halloween and Home Depot the spark of animatronics. They really just brought it back to life, the FNAF franchise itself. As before, animatronics were really something that nobody even talked about. It was mainly just Spirit Halloween, you went there and bought costumes. Animatronics were not the talk whatsoever, and FNAF came out, and the animatronic franchise just came back, and it was a huge thing. It's actually what really started animatronics as a whole, as FNAF just really got into that realm and really made animatronics cool again. And the main thing that I did want to cover about that whole spiel is that the Freddy animation isn't supposed to be super smooth and fluid. It's supposed to be kind of jerky and everything like that, as it's a literal animatronic. It's not supposed to be a super smooth wave-in animation or anything like that. It's just supposed to be a jerky animation. Now, the look of Freddy. The look of him is just so good. I really don't think they could have gotten it any better. Even just down to the bow tie, this thing is just so perfect. I literally couldn't change anything about this to make it any more accurate, anything like that. The face looks great. It even has real fur material to the body, which is just so awesome. It's just even more accurate. I think the paws look great. It is just like, I literally can't say anything bad about the overall look of this thing. It is just so perfect going along with the animation. Now, Freddy is being retailed for $500. Do I think that's a terrible price tag? No, not at all. Especially for a prop like this that is going to sell out instantly in stores, online, if it is going to be sold there. But this thing is just for $500, especially for the fandom around this thing. I honestly don't think that's a terrible price tag. Is it a lot? Yes, it's a lot of money. However, for the licensing on this thing, and just, we got it to look perfectly. The animation is great. You really can't say that $500 is a bad price tag for this animatronic. Once again, huge amount of money, but honestly, for this prop, it's not a bad price tag. Spirit could have easily made it somewhere around that $1,000 price tag, like the Demogorgon animatronic we did see in the past. I will say, I do have one main concern about this thing, with that being the material of the arms. Now, if we do see one of these close-up images, we can see that the joints connecting the arm pieces do appear to look like some sort of styrofoam material or something like that, which you just don't want to be seeing on an animatronic that we're spending $500 on. I think that Spirit choosing styrofoam is really cheap. However, I'm not saying that I'm here to justify them, but I do have a reason as why they could have used styrofoam, which is the weight. Now, honestly, if you weren't aware, the motors do need to be able to hold a certain amount of weight, and styrofoam really cuts that weight down really easily, as it's not a heavy material whatsoever, and it can easily help that arm motor move even more than it would have, say they use something like a blow molded plastic, the motor wouldn't really be able to handle that violent animation at all, as the arm animation, like I mentioned, is kind of jerky. Going behind Freddy, the stage on the display looks absolutely phenomenal as well. I think that the overall thing just looks so great. We can even see the spotlights going. That was phenomenal. They have speakers. It just, everything about this thing looks absolutely amazing, and we do know that in flagship specifically, it will be displayed where the lights were in past years, where you could get like those floodlights, the ice lights, everything like that. That is where Freddy is going to be displayed at. Not like Young He either. He's going to have multiple boxes per store, which I can confirm. It will not be one per location like Young He that you can get at the end of the season. He will have an official box, which leads me into my next point. Freddy's box. Now, we do have a photo of this compared to the Michael Myers animatronic, which is, I like to say, around 2 feet tall, and then we do see Freddy's box, and it just towers over it. I would like to say that it's about 2.5 Michael Myers boxes, or at least 2 and change, something around there, meaning that Freddy's box is going to be somewhere around that 5 foot tall range, which is absolutely crazy. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, I don't really get why the box is so massive. It's not like Freddy is a huge prop, although his wingspan is really wide, but he's only standing around 6.5 feet tall. However, I do kind of get it, as he does have those really huge blow molded plastic pieces for his body and everything like that, but the box size is just huge. I don't even know how wide it is. It appears to be 1 or 2 feet wide as well. This thing is going to be a real pain to store, and it just looks really annoying. We also get a glimpse at the other sides of the boxes, with the main ones just talking about the animation, and then him at, once again, some random person's house there in the background. But one thing I'd like to also cover is his audio. I think the audio is fine, nothing to really complain about. However, I would have liked it if we would have gotten the main FNAF theme or something like that. I feel like it just would have been way better for the prop. However, it would have boosted up that price tag even more, as he's already $500 just for the licensing of the game. So to get some audio like that would be even more. I'd like to say that it would be somewhere around $600 at that point. We also do have a couple close-ups of his face, which really give us a good look at that fur material, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good. I think that it literally looks like some type of real fur, and you can just almost tell it looks like some sort of carpet material, that it will end up feeling like soft itself as well in person and everything like that. I can't wait to see this thing at flagship in person for the first time. I think that is going to be so awesome to just see, and it's going to be way bigger than I would have expected, or really anybody would have expected, especially just that wingspan, as his arms just look huge already when he does do that T-pose. But I mean, in person, I'm thinking that's going to be around 8 feet wide. I guarantee you this thing is going to sell out in seconds, not only online but in stores. So I do definitely advise you, if you do see one of these in stores or anything like that, buy one. Even if you're not going to display it or build it, buy one. You can always resell it in the future. However, I am thinking that it's going to be a limit 1 per person. But this prop, I'm definitely getting my hands on this season one way or another. Freddy, you will be mine. Well, there you have it. The Spirit Halloween 2026 Freddy Fazbear animatronic, fully set up in all of its glory with an official demo. Now, obviously, we don't have the listing for the prop just yet, and I'm honestly guessing that this thing won't be able to buy online. I think that's going to be an in-store only type of thing. However, we will still end up getting a listing and everything like that online with a demo and higher quality photos. But make sure to leave your thoughts on this down in the comments below, and I would like to mention before wrapping this up, this is probably going to be my last time talking about this prop, as once we do get that official listing, it will probably conclude the releases for 2026. But anyway, make sure to remember that I'm a Spear Keeper, and I give you a reason for every season. Bye.